Good morning, Tolu. In today's class, we'll be talking about transitive, intransitive, and diatransitive verb. So, what can you tell me about transitive and intransitive verb?
Transitive verbs are verbs that takes object to have a meaningful sentence, while intransitive verbs are verbs that doesn't need an object to make a complete meaning.
Wow, that's wonderful. A transitive verb is a main verb which requires an object to complete its meaning. In other words, there is a need for the receiver of the action before the sentence can be meaningful. For example, the verb clap, slap, and kick are transitive since their object cannot be omitted in sentences such as the boy slapped me, the man kicked the bucket. Also, we have example in Yoruba language such as mo je wara, which means I ate cheese in English. Je is a transitive verb in the sentence because it takes an object wara before it can ask a complete sentence. There are basically two types of transitive verbs, the monotransitive and the ditransitive. The monotransitive takes one object, while the ditransitive takes two objects. So let's take them one after the other. The monotransitive verbs, just as the name implies, mono means one. So the monotransitive verbs are the types of transitive verbs which takes only one object. Example, she broke the chair. He beat the girl. While the ditransitive verbs are the types of transitive verbs which are typically followed by two non-phrases. For example, John gave Mary the book. In the above sentence, Mary and the book are the two non-phrases which follow the verb give. Therefore, give is a ditransitive verb in this sentence. Tolu, is that clear?
Yes, sir, I understand. But I have a question. How can we determine transitive verbs and intransitive verbs in a sentence? Is it by their verb forms?
You see, that's a very good question. But the transitivity and intransitivity of verbs cannot be determined by their forms, but by how they can be used in sentence. That's the reason why a verb can be both transitive and intransitive, depending on the context in which they apply. For example, in English language, the bird fly. The bird fly is an example of an intransitive verb in which fly is an intransitive verb. But we can also have the pilot fly the aeroplane. In this example, fly is being used as a transitive verb because it takes the direct object, the aeroplane. Also, we can have an example in Yoruba. For example, we have awofo. Awofo is an intransitive verb because it does not take a direct object. But we can also have mofo awo. For there is an intransitive. Oh God. So, and for is an intransitive verb in the example, in the sentence, mofo awo. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir, it is clear.
Alright, that is fine. Also, I want you to understand that adverbials can be added to transitive and intransitive verb. For example, in transitive verb, we can have sentences such as, he cooked the food yesterday in the kitchen. He cooked the food. That's the transitive verb because cook is a transitive verb followed by the direct object, the food. But yesterday is the adverb of time, and in the kitchen is also a prepositional phrase that follows the transitive verb. So transitive verb can be followed by adverbials in the sentences. Furthermore, intransitive verb can also be followed by adverbials in the sentence. For example, we can have sentence such as James slept in his room. In his room there is an adverb of place which shows where James slept. But slept there is an intransitive verb because it doesn't take a direct object in the sentence.
Can intransitive and transitive verb go with negative marker?
Wow, that's a wonderful question. You see, the negative markers are grammatical elements used for marking negative expression in sentence. For example, not is being used to indicate negation in English language, while ko is used for indicating negation in Yoruba language. One important point to note is that when negative marker is used with transitive verb in English, the verb changes from past tense to present tense form. Let me give you an example. Olu ate the dog. Olu did not eat the dog. In the above example, you can realize that the introduction of the negative marker, which is not, the introduction of the modal auxiliary verb, which is did, which actually change the form of the verb from past tense form into a present tense form. So this is how the sentence structure operates in English language. However, it is not the same in Yoruba language. Let us take an example. Olu je wara. Olu ko je wara. Je wara there is an example of a transitive verb which takes the direct object wara. But when ko, which is the negative marker, is being introduced, you can realize that the form of je did not change in that of Yoruba language. So these are the differences between the introduction of negative marker in Yoruba and that of English language. Do you understand transitive, intransitive, and transitive verbs now? And do you have any question before we end the class?
Thank you, sir, but I have no questions.
See you next class then, and have a nice day.